good morning, guys. Uh, we did we I mean I did a stream yesterday for Bitcoin, very quick one. Um, but I'm gonna do an update as well. And this morning I have Duna with me. Say hi, Duna.
Hello.
Um,
Hey.
he's gonna go ahead and do NQ first, while I take care of some stuff as well. And prepare the Bitcoin chart. So I'm gonna leave you guys with his screen. Give me just a second to switch.
hmm
You are on, brother. Go ahead.
Great. Okay, hello. Hi, everyone. So last week, I took a bit of a break towards the end of the week. And yeah, it was kind of interesting. My view in the market didn't really fully play out. And I'm gonna review what I missed, kind of blind spots that I had, and some things that did work out. And then go through my greater view of what's happening, and what I'm getting from the situation that we're in. So I remember making a video back here. I don't know if I updated it on it, but
I think you did.
we had this push up. Yeah, we had this push up in Sydney. We mitigated this, and I remember making the video saying that I was going to wait until they came into a block that was down here, and take some liquidity. But I actually made the video when they kind of front ran that block on the actual NQ, and they just pushed straight up after that. So that short got taken out near break even, and I should have really seen a lot of this as just liquidity that was kind of begging to be taken. I kind of put too much value on the mitigation, the small mitigation of the FEG, and Sydney's high was actually this one, and not the mitigation. And recently I've been using the Sydney high that's left, and that is before certain moves down or up, is generally can be kind of strong for the UK session. So I kind of had my mind put on that, but they reversed it around UK, and brought it up and took the high a few times. Now what I did was, after they tapped into the block, I did trade this. I took a long off this actually, because they finally actually tapped the block that they had induced. And I took a long here to take some internal liquidity, and I could have kept it for this, but it was very late, and I really shouldn't have been trading. But they hit the zone, and then later we had this zone here. Sydney's high was taken, but this low was actually Sydney's low. It was kind of pre-market Tokyo, and it had taken a lot of liquidity. So I would have kind of assumed that at that stage that this low could have been strong enough for some kind of bullish precedent to take over. So once they took Sydney's high, I took a short here, and I took it down to about here. Now these were paper trades because I I ended up losing my my last account, but it's okay. It happens. It
Dude, the
happens.
paper
But
trades are
I
always
didn't.
better. It's incredible.
They are always better, and I just wanted to stay kind of in, stay
touch.
in
Right.
in touch. That's it. And I took it down to this low here, because recently this kind of thing has just been holding. So I was like, I'm not gonna take any chances here. I'm gonna take it for granted that this crappy change of character is going to hold. And we came down around the point of control of that consolidation. We took liquidity, so I was like, I'm out there. But around this zone, I was really, because we've so much below us, and we can swipe down so easily to maintain whatever bullish narrative that we have, and we've gaps down here and everything. I just thought that it was likely that we come down to here and create a bit of pain before pushing up, but news came, and it was just straight up. It was just tiny tap of a vector that was in this zone, and huge break of structure. This break of structure, though, I still like. To me, it doesn't scream the crazy strength necessarily, just because of its context. Now we do have this large gap. This gap has been mitigated up to the hourly. You can view this this mitigation, and then this little uptrend that we created during Asia. So, you know, like I'm not gonna take that for granted that this is just going to come back into here immediately, but we did create a new RTH gap down at the base of this consolidation. It's a daily level. We have a little point of control down here that we could. There's a block down here. We have VWAPs down here, but coming down here, because we would be breaking through a wick that mitigated a larger time frame FVG, I would be careful about taking longs into this gap. Now there is a chance that if it gets bought straight back up and we start creating bullish structure internally, that it could be the confirmation I'd be looking for this bullish break of structure to be validated and keep going. But I would need to be kind of I need that proven to me a lot, because in this context with what we've set up, this break of this FEG and then bearish structure happening here, especially coming into US or over the next couple of days, you know, I do feel like they could come for these zones down here, and just because they haven't come for them yet, you know, I've still been marking them up. They're zones that I'm interested in. This whole gap is really interesting just because of this massive curve that we created here, and I've been kind of waiting for them to swipe into this zone eventually, and you know, it was a bit of an oversight for me to be shorting into that. Whereas realistically, I should just be waiting for them to come there before I long, if they give me those signs. So it's a bit of an oversight on my regard, but yeah, immediately today.
I think that's one of those things that it's easy to see after it's done. Not really in the moment.
And I'm just like overly cautious a lot. Like you know, I don't trust the markets a lot. So when they do keep going in their way without proving to me, quote unquote, proving to me that the move is strong, I end up doubting it, and instead of not acting, I end up acting against it, which is just kind of a bit of a flaw, I think, of mine. But you know, I'm working on it.
Yeah.
The area I really liked was this, and this is more of what I wanted to see, was kind of this zone here, like just really nice liquidity taken external, tapping into that FVG after the break of structure, coming into a nice anchored VWAP, really nice price action, breaking up. You know, that seemed to me like a nice strong move, and it was. But everything after that, I really had a raised eyebrow. You know, we were at the highs, we're at all-time highs. They like to normally kind of come back and punish early breakout trades and things like that, and obviously that was the kind of mindset that they were messing with, you know, and they got me. But anyway, immediately we've taken Asia's low. We have a little small change of character here, which is based off the mitigation. This is still valid. The thing is, like with this change of character here, we're hanging around this point of control. UK opened here on this large push up, creating a lot of gaps, and we've now closed. We've closed low, and Asia, or the S&P has also taken Asia's low. We could push up and range here for US, definitely. You know, I would just say I would be cautious about taking longs based off this wick being taken. You know, like it's not the kind of zone that I would like to be trying to hop into a long.
It's kind of
definitely
an
could get
lower, right?
It is. All of the zones are lower. Welcome to my mindset, man. For the past few weeks, it's like everything is lower than where we are.
We have
that
a
is
naked VWAP
worth coming
below.
to.
We're not too far from it.
Oh yeah, a naked is it daily?
21,550 on FX, not CME. Let me check CME. Give me a second.
I really need to check the FX chart.
Yeah, 21593 is naked view up.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, I didn't mark that up actually.
So
We do. We have the upper
we're
band
not too
here,
far from
or the middle band.
yeah.
And then the lower band. The lower band is down towards that gap.
I like the lower band better, but
I'm a bit iffy on taking longs in that gap. Now we could get a scalp, because there could be a buy up here. Like in this gap, but I think I've just been bitten enough by these kind of longs that at this stage with where we are macro as well.
Yeah, man.
And
it's kind of scary.
I would just wait for all of the catalysts that we have below us to happen. We've too many reasons down here. And
well,
man,
to be
they've
fair,
done it
we always have reasons.
Yeah, but I mean, we've too many reasons below us for me to be like hopping in on that. So, yeah, my cautious nature always takes over. Sometimes it just keeps me out of trades. Sometimes it ends up going too far, and I end up trading that kind of.
Yeah.
They're going to swipe lower or whatever, and I did learn that from the last week that it's not something I should really be focusing on at all, and just wait for them to come to those levels instead. So, yeah, this kind of move, bit sus.
Money flow is red as fuck though.
Let's see.
At least now. Sorry, watching 1 minute.
On the 1 minute.
Yeah.
It is. Yeah, on the 1 minute, we're not diverging with money flow in ways that would prompt immediate kind of let's hop in.
I don't like that.
Yeah, and if we zoom out, money flow. But see, the thing is, so money flow has been
losing momentum. But...
It has been losing momentum. The thing is, it's very hard to just take trades off like, oh, money flow is divving.
I know.
Especially going out to like the 12-hour.
Oh, fuck that.
Like money flow was like divving until it wasn't, right?
Yeah.
It's the same kind of idea. We did have a push up here. Money flow was increasing on the 30-minute here and pushed into this div. It's all a bit iffy because they can keep this little thing going a lot. They can mess with that, but immediately I don't really see huge bullish momentum taking over. We just have money flow coming out in this area, right? So this is the thing. It's like we're up here. We have so many huge pockets of liquidity that they can easily come into without actually disturbing the greater uptrend. That I'm just really, really apprehensive of taking longs in these kind of zones.
Like right now it feels far away, but really it's not. It's just like one New York move away from getting to that naked point of control down there and just resuming everything,
Oh, completely. And right below it, like the thing is, right, so like if we go back to structure, like if we look at structure a bit, the one that I would consider nice and strong is this one. I like this, I really like this, and everything else is, for me, is full of a lot of free areas to take, and maintaining this kind of half an hour to 1 hour bullish structure. Right, now you could argue that here, that this internal liquidity grab was good enough to keep moving up, but the fact that we have a completely untapped RTH gap down here with a plethora of equal lows, covered in vector recovery, with like just really nice inducement on these ascending lows, that we could tap heavily back into, get bought up back into this bullish pull and keep going. That's looming, and it's been looming for a bit. So I'm not going to really end up, I don't want to do the thing where, I've been doubting, and then finally we come to an area where they start pulling back, and then I go, oh well, lets long, you know, like
Yeah,
I'm
exactly.
gonna wait for them to flush, and I'm gonna wait for the flush that I've been looking for, and hopefully that sets us up for some nice PA interacting with the levels that we've made, you know. Um,
Yeah,
you know,
I don't know.
I'm on the
I
lookout.
wouldn't
Like,
I wouldn't be confident to take a trade now, to be honest.
no, me neither.
I liked what they did on Asia. This move was nice, but
Is that Tokyo close? I don't know. It's like
I'm
a UK pre-market, right?
let me check. It is UK. So
Yeah.
let me switch the stream. Give me a second.
Yeah.
I like what they did here because it's also our classical way of entering a trade, right?
Hmm.
And they retested this breaker basically before dumping hard.
Hmm.
I like this, and that's something that I would have taken just because it's so classical, especially after an open. The open of
Yeah.
of London is here.
Is that red vector down a single print? I would imagine it is, with such
I
like a
don't
violent gap in one direction.
I don't have ways to I don't have a way to know that. Oh, actually I
Yeah,
do.
me neither.
Reddit probably is.
Seems like it would be. Such a violent reaction, like with such a huge gap in the vector, they
Damn,
normally end up being single print.
it's so slow, so slow. When I put that on, it's so slow.
I don't got that premium sub.
Oh no, never mind. I can check imbalances, not. Never mind. I can check
Oh,
imbalances,
that's
but
okay.
not single prints. I can only check single prints on Exo with Bitcoin, for example,
Yeah.
because I don't have that
I was
DX
looking at that
subscription.
move, and it doesn't fit into a lot of my models. It did on the ES actually. So at that time at a UK pre-market or yeah, UK pre-market or during UK. On the ES itself, it took internal liquidity while in a bearish trend, with a really nice green vector coming up, and and some nice divs. And to me, that gave me a bit of a compass for that move. I would have probably taken the trade off what ES did, but with the NQ, I've seen it do those quick vector moves down, um, and just they can, they've gotten bought up so quickly recently that I didn't actually trust it for a short. But the way you traded it would have definitely been the way to do it, like, as you said, classical for you.
Yeah, this I don't know. This feels so probable, man. 21,474 on FX and
21,500 zone,
yeah,
isn't it?
and 21,509. Yeah,
Yeah,
21,500 feels so
we're
likely.
right. That's right above an RTH gap, um, that we've created. So, um,
Let me
and the
check
gap is
the
the block
RTH.
basically.
All right. Oh, hello.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Um,
Did
Yeah, it's a daily level as well, and it's a nice high volume area. The thing about it is, and I was looking at it, the thing about it is, I don't like the lows that are before it. I don't like them. To me, they feel like a zone because they're in on the 30 minute. They're in red money flow, and money flow is so thick at the moment that coming down to that zone, I would feel like the likelihood would be a push down more, down to an extension, and some equal lows that we have below there, which is another RTH gap. Now, whether they do that or not, and just range up
yeah,
here,
I don't know about the
we'd
second
have to
one.
see. Yeah.
At least not for the immediate future. But it is in fact doing what we were saying. Um, Pushing lower. Getting this
Yeah.
long, I don't know. It's too many
I don't either.
things. Yeah, too many
There is, yeah.
things to say. Careful.
And we've positioned ourselves now, right, where we had an expansive move last week, and we've moved sideways, in a way that we've really exposed a lot of larger time frame liquidity to be grabbed at this stage. And I would like to see us range around up here and get a feel of the dynamics of the supply and demand that happen up here. It would give us more data. And you know me, I love ranges. Like I will eat a range all day, all week. But if I am aware that we can just knife down and it won't make much of a difference to what the context that we're in, the precedent that we're in.
Yeah,
So I'm just cautious.
I really like these levels. Um, the naked view app feels like an inducement area.
Hmm.
I would not be surprised if this creates those equal lows that you love so much. Uh,
Yeah.
and like maybe for a Monday type of trade, not the trade of the week,
Right.
but for
Yeah.
Monday to get a long from here or from this
Yeah.
liquidity feels very probable.
And
But that
as I say,
POC, man, that would be like if I was
yeah,
in a short from up there, I would try to hold it.
yeah,
Obviously at
yeah,
break
yeah.
even right now, but I would try to hold it.
Right. Yeah, and break even would be like, I mean, the thing about these vectors that they've created, these big gaps down, is that like, you know, break even on those kind of moves is a bit iffy, just because of the glaring, the glaring desire for price to return back to them before
Of
it's
course.
moving.
Yeah.
Whether that just means it's like a small tap of an FEG and then continue down. When your stop loss is positioned within those huge vector imbalances, like, it's a bit iffy. It doesn't give you that sense of like that small sense of comfort, and especially with the money flow picking up on the 30-minute on that push up, like money flow did not locally diverge on higher time frames on that push, and seeming as we're in such a higher time frame bullish pull, I would still be cautious about leaving a short open, from that high personally. Now it depends what kind of trade you are. If you go to the 1 hour, we did get the div. That enough could bring us down. Like, it was a nice
Yeah.
entry if you did get in. Yeah.
Yeah.
And going back to the little range that we're in, I did mention this range that we're in is coming off a 1 hour mitigated FVG, and we did change character afterwards. So they could induce this, and if we did get demand coming in around that wick, that 1 hour mitigation wick at the start of this range, a little scalp long would be
Mhm.
cool. Like if we got some really nice absorption, I it's a valid block. Like, it's a valid block.
Yeah.
It changed character. I would just need it to be proven to me a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
I'd like to see some really nice absorption coming into that zone to take short, but we are leaving behind, just a very large zone of liquidity right now. Would not be surprised if that was swept before a continued move down.
I'm watching the 1 minute to see if it can flip. Just for a little scalp. We're almost taking that. Oh, we didn't. We didn't.
I would, if I was gonna take a scalp, I would wait until the ascending lows above the wick that mitigated the FEG,
Yeah.
to be taken, because that is an untapped block. It's an untapped 1 minute. Well, it was barely tapped, but it seems so induced that if they did swing fail those lows, like, a scalp back into some easily grabbable imbalances created on this push down seems like a nice little area. Let's take so our change of character here, if I'm not mistaken, was Tokyo's low. We have a very low point of control here.
And breaker block.
And a breaker, yeah. So, like a nice little long into, and it's also, that's also Sydney's initial balance.
Mhm.
that could act as a lower high catalyst, right?
Yeah,
Now, whether they do it from here or they come a bit lower or not, I don't know. Sometimes one little tap of a mitigation or one little tap of a block can rule it out, you know.
yeah.
It's the value area low of the consolidation that changed character, and like that's kind of it. Like, it's below a round number. Like, and to me, those aren't the best. Those aren't good enough fully for me to take along in this context. But
I really would not be surprised if we start pushing up hard after this fuckery.
Yeah.
Like ignoring that trip.
Range out until US. Yeah.
Ignore that trip. But this is the thing. Like, even though I know it's likely, and that they do that quite a lot, it's just not the type of trade that I have found more success in the past. So I just don't take it.
So yeah, we're getting absorption locally with money flow, and we're getting divs into this zone. But the thing is, it's just like, this is the kind of trade that you get so zoomed in on where you are that you forget about the probabilities of coming lower and it's being okay. You know, like,
yeah, but that's the thing.
For me anyway.
For the entirety of the London session, it might just go up from where it just was, exactly because it is inducement.
Exactly, yeah.
You know, so
like this,
like a trade a long trade right now, like a long trade right now might work just because of that. If it is to hold for the rest of the day, no, fuck no.
No, definitely not. No.
But you know,
yeah. But if it aligns with your trading style, you know, like a small scalp up into, this was Tokyo's initial balance. You know, lines up with this area. There's a breaker there. It's the point of control. If we did get a bounce from here, but like, as I go through the time frames, money flow doesn't. This is a precarious zone for us to be looking for a long, like with money flow. In my opinion, we've cut through bullish money flow from these lows. The only thing that could save us is a very far extended hidden money flow div from this liquidity grab to here, but it's so far away that it's the kind of trade that, like, you either get your little TP or else it just collapses. So it's not really my kind of trade, like.
Yeah, I'm also just pointing this out because sometimes you, for example, feel bad about some crazy lows like we're just making right now. And
I do, yeah.
And this happens a lot. Like, we are to expect it, actually. It's part of our job to expect that. So
for me, these kind of lows aren't as bad. Because for these lows, I can kind of get context. It's the lows like this, and I'll show you the lows that really piss me off. Are lows like this. So we get lows like this equal lows, and then this equal lows, and then we get equal lows here.
Okay, but those kind of lows might even be they might even just be liquidity issues, in the sense that the exchange itself might actually have how should I explain this? Let's say that if this was a crypto exchange, those lows might not even exist, you know. If they were something like Bitcoin on Binance, for example, or something like that, those lows might not even exist. But because the CME has like a smaller percentage of people trading it, you're gonna see a lot of wicks like that, and sometimes, like, they don't necessarily mean anything, you know.
Yeah, I do find it hard to take trades.
Of course,
because sometimes they, like, a lot of the times, and obviously the times when I do take trades in them, they won't work. Like
Yeah,
they will get eaten.
of course.
So for me, it's too much of a coin flip. Like I simply want to see like this, you know, like, and then I would take the trade. And for me, this is it. Just kind of it ends up throwing me a bit when I see this kind of thing. It's like, should I trust this or not?
Yeah.
And I have recently been just focused on the first wick and what that did, and obviously lining up with the ES. It's really nice to see those wicks on the NQ, and then ES taking liquidity after. So,
Mhm.
for example, maybe this is the ES. Um, right? Maybe this wick is on the ES and it's an SMT, but on the NQ it's equal lows. I will most likely enter that trade because I got that nice swipe that I'm looking for.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I get it.
This kind of equal low situation that we're in right now, potentially, I don't mind as much because I can trust the volume of the session that we're coming into. That like these can end up being, you know, valid targets. And as I said, if we do just start making really aggressive bullish structure here, um, you know, I might change my tone like a small bit to take a bit of a scalp long, right? But I just try and avoid this in general. Like once I see this kind of inducement, I just wait for a very definitive move to happen. Um, this kind of wide inducement, right? We've spent time in a range and now we've come down. It's they're obviously sticking around here for a reason. It's normally, as I said, when we're in these expansive moves up, and I'm looking for an entry. You know, I'm looking for a reason to get in, and I find it hard to trust the kind of situation that we're in when our precedent is built on like just stacked equal lows, and you know, no coming back there. It's like I find it hard to put my stop loss below any of these, and
Exactly.
I'm still looking for ways to deal with it, you know.
Yep.
But yeah, so overall, like, you know, this is me in every single stream, and it's my word of the year is like is just being
Why?
cautious. And
Oh,
like I will always kind of say that, and I say it over and over. Um, but it means that when I am kind of like confident with what the market's done, like I do feel actually confident to be getting into trades. And I remember around this zone, I felt really good after seeing this, you know. Um, and yeah, I would just be aware of, you know, what's below us, and if it means I miss a few longs from this zone, like I'm fine with that. I'm just gonna wait for the market to show me what I like and what I feel comfortable with, instead of forcing trades. I'm gonna try and do that more in the future, you know.
yeah.
So I think that's it from me. I'll throw my charts into the
Yeah, bro. Make a
into the
post.
community,
I'm gonna
and
switch to mine just to
yeah,
say to Enigma that we were talking the other day about silver, and this is kind of messy. I have too many things on the chart.
that's
It's
right.
it's
I'm
actually
gonna mute
more because of the
myself
levels.
just while I make the post. I'm gonna
Sure,
mute
sure.
myself.
Um, this was essentially because of the levels indicator, but we don't really have any gaps to fill below, except a gap that is very, very, very low. And right now it doesn't feel likely that we're taking that. We did create what might be equal lows on futures, on the futures market. Um, 88959, 88948. So it's not equal lows actually. Um, Let me just check something. Give me a second, guys. Just got a small TP here. Let me just put another limit on. Where here? All right. So I was saying, we have just reached this gap. This was my prediction for the past week. Uh, because considering that we went way above the initial idea, which was to get to uh, the lower gap that I was talking about. Now, what seems more likely is for us to get to this guy. We do have a naked weekly right above this. I'm not sure that point of control is untapped. Let me check on the 15 because it's still a little bit more precise. Oh, I forgot this gap is done. We just have this. Yeah, so reaching this view up seems likely, and as a consequence, it'll probably take these highs. And from there, we might range or retrace. But now, all of this, which is a very big range, all of this might become support. So let me hide the levels. Okay, so this will become first layer of support, and this will become like secondary in terms of volume of this entire range. And all of this will be support in my opinion. All of these zones, like this has already been, probably it bounced from this area here. It price probably already used it as support. Let me see. Yeah, this was where it tapped, and now this area might also be support. So it should be good for holding. So red line is bye bye, green line is fulfilled. Now this gap is a target, and on top of that we have another gap which is also a target, but this one should take a lot longer. And yeah, I guess that's it. Now for Bitcoin, one thing that I just want to mention about Asia, we were on yesterday's stream, we were talking about the possibility of getting trades from the TR pockets, and we got one really nice one here. I don't know if this is the POC of this range. Very, very close.
Yo, Andre.
Hey Alexa, I'm streaming, brother. Let me just finish. Give me a second. And so the expansion POC should be reached now. We're very, very close to it. We're using the lower deviation of the VWAP. I would guess that we're still gonna have a little bit more of a move down, maybe not too much, but then we're probably gonna either range or bounce until New York, and then New York is gonna be the deciding factor today, probably. In terms of liquidity for New York to take, we're gonna have these stacked highs, and it depends on what we do here now on these lows. Because if we take this liquidity, we might have yet another long. One thing that I want to remind is that the CME did not take this low. Only crypto futures exchanges did. So it might come down. Just like the other week, we didn't go for the high immediately. We still, it took quite a while until we took the high. And we still got to these equal lows, reacted to this support resistance zone, and only then did we bounce. So I'm expecting something similar, but eventually taking that low. And that is it from me, I guess. Duna, you want to finish with anything? Do you see anything that you want to add?
No, I wouldn't have anything very constructive to add to Bitcoin or silver. So you've probably
No,
done
sorry. I'm saying
everything.
about NQ because I wasn't watching now.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I think I've said everything with NQ. Like all in all, we have a lot of good catalysts below us for some nice longs, and I've been waiting for the past few weeks to see a nice flush into a greater bullish pull, and that's what I'm going to keep looking for. So everything I said earlier, I think just kind of holds.
Okay, I'm gonna end the stream here. Guys, if you have any questions, join the Discord or ask them on Discord. Tag me or Duna, and as soon as possible, we'll try to answer. Right?
Yeah, of
Have a
course.
nice day. Have a nice week.
These guys.
I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye.